Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wicked Happy
Fun Time.
I am the Cheese.
And this is Bombs.
And you should probably leave the door unlocked.
Yeah.
Because you're about to get some visitors.
And roll down the sheets because I'm going to get in your bed.
Boom!
Yeah. We're going to make some love to your ears.
Things are going to happen.
You're going to...
basically call the cops because we're going to break into our apartment.
It's great. Yeah. We're going to do it right.
The inaugural podcast.
We are here. It's February 8th, 2011.
Yes.
And it is 7:56 in the evening.
In the PM.
Yeah. It is dark out. It's the wintertime, so we expect that. Yeah. And here we are on our first podcast. Cheese, thanks for coming over. We're at my apartment right now.
Pleasure to be here. Bombs. In Santa Monica, the lovely, gorgeous West Side. Are we officially in Santa Monica now, or is this just the general West Side area?
Yeah, we are officially about a block or two from the border, so we really get that.
We're not official. We're not official.
We're official. We're in Santa Monica.
We're within the border.
We're within the border, and we're just over the border, which is good. You know, we get that special price for the great location.
Which is a much higher rent
it's
than
right,
special price.
Right. Except
you get specially gouged.
I don't necessarily want to just divulge what I pay here for this spot because we are in my room. We got plenty of space. I have my own bathroom, and it's a good price.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me describe what we're seeing right here. We're in Bombs' room. I see this is some sort of quilt on the wall, and it's got pictures from your childhood.
Yeah, this is a quilt my stepmother made for me.
I love this. It's kind of like a snapshot of your entire youth.
It is. It's right. It stops right at the end of high school, and she made it. She ironed it onto the fabric. There's a certain way you can print out pictures now and iron them onto shirts and fabric. But this was a big blanket that's now hanging on my wall.
It's gorgeous. And on the other side, ladies and gentlemen, two size as in from the Ninja Turtles. I think it was Raphael.
Raphael, definitely.
Raphael.
Yes.
A Dos Equis flag. A work of art, possibly by Leonardo da Vinci.
Well, first, this work of art was given to me by my brother for a birthday present, and it's one of those where we said if there's a fire, it's one of the things you're grabbing and pulling out of.
It's priceless.
It's very good.
It's gorgeous, and folks, I guess the kind of. The eclectic surroundings here is representative of this show.
Yes.
This first show here, and we're going to be... What kind of stuff are we going to be tackling, Bombs? News, movies, opinions. Yeah. We're going to go after people who need people to go after them.
They need to be... Some people need to be attacked.
We're going to regulate.
Yeah, I like that. And
we're not going to hold back.
I love talking about movies. I can't get enough. So
we're not going to curb our language.
We can't.
We're going to throw a couple F-bombs around.
Sure.
But maybe not, it's still going to be family fun.
But it's still so my parents can sort of listen to it and not, hate me.
I'm going to jump right into something.
Okay,
that I saw on the internet.
Well, let's see. All right.
Maybe you've heard of it.
I'm hoping this is a current news story. This is a current news story.
Okay. That I found today.
All right.
Man killed by cockfighting rooster. Have you heard about this?
Well, I'm not sure. I know they're very aggressive, and I know that people have them here in Los Angeles. But wait, where was this?
A 35-year-old California man has died after being stabbed by a cockfighting rooster with knives on his feet.
Oh, this is a new form of debauchery, of brutality.
I've always understood cockfighting cocks, if you will.
Right.
I mean, don't they have really sharp claws to begin with? Do you need to put razor blades on a cock's foot?
I mean, I've been to a residence where they actually had a rooster there, and I was told to stay far away. Like, this rooster would hurt you, let alone something that's been trained, and have a sharper beak with knives on there. Wait, knives attached to what? The legs, the feet?
I think what you do is you take two switchblades
and
you duct tape them to the bottom of the foot.
It's the old hidden blade trick in the cock. I'm not. Wow, this is a new technique. I've never heard of.
Reminds me of the story I heard about certain gangsters. They put razor blades in their gums.
Whoa!
So you're walking down the street, right? They're just you think they're disarmed, but they're really armed, and then
Wait a minute.
Yeah, people do that.
Well, I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be just a little bit less painful to, just put the thing in your pocket instead of your having to hide it?
Maybe that's to, like, after you get patted down. Maybe that's a jail thing.
Oh, that's got to be in jail.
Maybe that's some jail
they're hiding.
trivia.
It's now
I may
right.
have just thrown that out.
Hiding things in your gums, right? I'll take that to note.
Have you ever been to a cockfight?
Well, no, I wouldn't be caught dead at one. No, nor a dogfight or anything.
Horrible, disgusting.
Yes.
It's the type of thing people joke about.
Right.
But if you were actually there and you actually saw these animals being forced to hurt each other, you'd probably barf and then like punch the person responsible.
Yeah.
But so many people joke about it.
Right, and well, they joke about it, but we certainly weren't born, with that sort of need, or even right. You say if we were at one of those things, we'd be totally disgusted. But yeah, there are people who are going. I guess they must start at a young age.
What do you?
And what I was thinking too is that with the roosters, is their beaks have to probably be dull by that time. They're dulled out from all the fighting. Maybe they were hiding the blades, in there somewhere, because like my rooster is completely dull. I need a sharpener.
It's like those greyhounds. They race for 10 years and they retired and their legs are shot.
Yeah.
There's actually a specific person that takes all the greyhounds when they're done racing and gives them out to families.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I know that they cracked down on that. The dog track, I know, just outside of Boston, which used to be very popular, now is no longer.
I never got into the dogs. I watch the horses all day.
Yeah, horses are all right. People, still go to see that. That's not brutal.
So this clown, maybe he got what he deserved.
Yeah, I think maybe. I mean, he's involved in that. He's getting a wake up call at least.
He's no Michael Vick.
Wake up call but he's dying. Yes, he died. So that's very interesting. I think that the next thing I want to tackle.
What do you got?
It's just on the same level as people being not so intelligent, is the Toyota recall. Now they just announced today about the people were accelerating and they were crashing their.
Wasn't there some old man who killed people?
Yeah, right. He's like barreling into. Well, that was something that happened in Santa Monica, I know, years ago. But we know that people were like driving off the road and they were saying, oh, the brake pedals weren't working, and they were getting.
I do remember
gas pedals getting stuck. Now, from what I read, NASA was even involved in this in this investigation, which shows that there was lots of money involved, and
they just had some free time.
They had some free time, and I guess NASA now that this report came out, is now asking for money. That was actually another news headline. They didn't have enough money in NASA.
Is.
Yeah, it's surprising because they have plenty of gadgets, I think. Nevertheless, it was humans' fault. They found that it was human fault that these cars were accelerating, and that it was most likely that it had paralleled with the same complaints they'd had from other car companies, that people had actually mistaken, people have mistaken the gas pedal for the brake pedal. It's sort of if they hadn't had enough practice in the car, they crashed the cars.
Now, is that something that would make sense based on the type of people crashing? Were they all old people? Were they young people?
Yeah.
I don't know what the.
I would have to say, right.
Didn't it stick? Didn't one of the accelerators stick?
They were sticking, and so now they're
that's
saying
a human's problem.
Under the parentheses, of the whole human problem is the floor mats, is the improper installation of the floor mats, and then also possibly that the gas pedal and the brake pedal are so similar that people were confusing them. But I don't think that should be anywhere of an issue. I mean, if you're driving a car, you should know where the gas and brake is. That's the first thing you learn.
That's step one.
That is step one, and
that's the first thing you probably need to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, people aren't installing the floor mats, though. That's right? That's
right.
That's got to be. Basically, what was the Justice Department conducted this? Yeah,
the Justice Department. They didn't conduct it. It was the Department of Transportation, I guess.
So they basically saved Toyota $8 gajillion. That they would have had to pay out.
Oh, well, it's what's interesting, right? $8 more gajillion dollars. Let alone the recall of 8 to 9 million vehicles between 2008 and 2009. So that right there is an alarming cost. You got to think Toyota, like most car companies, have that in sort of insurance to, dip into, but that's a hell of a cost. car recall investigation by NASA.
That's going to cost a couple bucks.
That'll cost a lot. That's like when the plane crashes, the plane company will pay people to put together the tiny little pieces of the plane and reconstruct and find out what happened. Oh yeah. Now they did.
It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle.
Oh yeah, you got to imagine.
But with blood and human brain on it.
That's a hell of a job security. That's a lot of job security right there. You can milk that for
what do you do?
Years.
I put crashed planes back together.
No big deal. Yeah. So anyway,
now what do you think of the Prius?
I love those cars. I love what they're doing. I love their gas mileage.
They scared the shit out of me.
Do they?
I'll be walking down the street.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'm about to go through the crosswalk. And I never hear them coming. I can't hear them coming. And I don't know, I just got bad ears. Well, actually, I kind of do.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Maybe that's what it is.
No, not at all.
No?
They are silent machines.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of creepy. Like, it creeps me out. You know, I just came from a family, you know, that appreciated muscle cars, and, you know, we always had Mustangs. We always had just gigantic engines and cylinders and whatnot. Sure. And I love the efficiency. You know, I'm not saying we should all be driving gas guzzlers or cars that get 5 miles an hour per gallon. They just scare me.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get hit by a Prius within the next year.
I think that there's a large percentage of people who get hit by Priuses compared to other cars. I mean, they are silent, and especially at probably the worst places when they're backing out of driveways. Mm-hmm. Also, what's weird is that, you know, they design those cars, and they're a little funky looking. They're not like, you know, the sleekest, most amazing looking
they're
cars.
They're kind of ugly.
But this new design, which just I don't know what it is, where the window starts at about, you know, chest to shoulder level.
It's all window. The whole car's a big window.
But I can't see out of it.
You can't see out of it.
Well, you can't see out of it. It's too high up. So I don't know if I'd buy one, but I'd kind of wait for these, the Super Bowl commercials. They entice me to buy those new electric cars and all that. So I'll probably go that route when I get the money, in about 1,600 years.
When I get stuck behind people on the road, it's either a Camry, a Corolla, or a Prius.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
The people who drive those cars drive really slow, and it doesn't make me happy.
Yeah, especially on Sunday LA driving. Oh
my God.
There's something to be said about driving in LA on Sunday that if you're in a rush,
I'm gonna take my Prius to the farmer's market.
Don't be.
You guys need any cucumbers? UK man with low IQ banned from having sex.
A UK man with a low IQ?
UK, not University of Kentucky. University of London.
Oh.
Or also known as the United Kingdom.
Right.
A judge has banned the man from having sex because questions were raised about infringing upon his civil liberties. The guy has an IQ of 48.
Is this a man who is, in this country they call them special needs?
A retarded kid?
Yeah.
Well, IQ of 48 is pretty bad.
Yeah. Is this like someone who's on the borderline, like
mine's 55,
vegetable state?
So I can operate machinery. I know how to tie almost both of my shoes.
Right. So you can operate that.
Okay, so he's living with another guy and having sex with this guy. So he's a gay retarded guy in the UK. And this High Court Justice, Nicholas Mulston, agreed that Alan did not have the mental capacity to understand the health risks, and he should not have sex with anyone. But they are allowing him to have sex with himself.
Honestly, isn't this a little bit much for them to be stepping in on? I mean, the fact is, first of all, kudos to the lover beforehand, really getting his money's worth before the ruling came out. But what's the who's the authority on this? Is there going to be like a Bobby? Is that what they're called? Standing outside like 24 hours a day, monitoring this behavior?
That's true. I mean, how do you police this?
Right. Is he...
And who told... I mean, who's peeping on these guys anyways?
Yeah, and also, is this against his will? I mean, what does he want?
I actually read this article online not too long ago. There's parents of mentally disabled...
Right.
Kids. Well, not kids, but, basically, you got a mom whose daughter or son is mentally handicapped. Right? Okay, say they're 25, 30, or 35. Mm-hmm. They don't get a lot of action.
No.
Right? they're not going out to the club, scoring numbers, and going to the boneyard on a regular basis.
That's right. They're not like
right. Okay,
right.
But there's some sort of need. I mean, everybody's got to have sex. Everybody's got to get wet now and then, right?
Sure.
So what they do is they put out ads on Craigslist, on the internet, to the places say, look, my daughter's got MS.
Yeah.
Or she's got an IQ of 48.
Yeah.
Would you come over and show her a good time?
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
And people respond to these things. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes perfect sense.
You're probably not getting the cream of the crop who's responding to these ads. Brad Pitt's not coming over.
Right.
Taking care. But she gets her jollies.
Right.
And
yeah.
But in the UK, it's against the law.
Well,
this guy's not supposed to be able to do his thing?
This seems to be against some sort of, moral code, some sort of, like private, privacy act. Some people need to have their privacy and be allowed to have sex. I mean, you can't stop somebody from having sex. I mean, in that case, should it be like, think about the guys who go around who are, rampantly just picking up women and having sex with them and probably maybe or giving them STDs. There's certain, there's definitely got to be guys out there doing that. Not me.
Alan's not diseased.
Right.
He may have an IQ of 48.
Exactly.
He may not know how to spell penis, but he can get it up.
Right. So if he can't, what about the people that are making, doing, having bad sex, as I would call that, with the, spreading
That's
STDs.
That's a good comparison.
And just, like kind of one night standing and kind of
sexual predators.
Yes. Thank you for finally like getting the term out. I couldn't think of it. The sexual predators, exactly.
There you go.
Wow.
Well, Alan, it says here he had a vigorous sex drive, and it's not appropriate that he didn't understand what he was doing. If the guy's got a vigorous sex drive, he understands what he's doing.
You're denying his...
That's my point.
His needs.
Yeah. You're denying his God-given right to ejaculate. Yeah. Anyways.
I'm glad you were so forward about that, so...
I want to talk about movies.
All right, let's get into movies now.
All right. Now, What do you got?
All right, well, I know this movie I haven't seen, and I've seen the preview for it on the television, and I'm sure everyone else has. It's very highly marketed as a movie called Sanctum.
Sanctum. Don't you mean Sanctum?
Yeah. Well, obviously, what's his name? James Cameron loves these one word titles. He's got Avatar. He's
Abyss.
got Abyss.
Actually, that was The Abyss.
Oh, was it The Abyss?
My
well, he
bad
threw
on
in
that
and he threw in The for Terminator. But he's
that's true. That doesn't really.
But he's
count.
got Alien. He's got Alien, Avatar. He's got Sanctum.
He does. Please continue.
And so, anyway, if you're watching these previews, it looks like one of these movies that James Cameron is kind of a side project. I think he let someone else direct it. I don't know I think he maybe just produced it and just kind of like, here's the money, just go get ridiculous in a cave. So the one thing is that's
like, actually the whole script.
Yeah, right.
Getting ridiculous in a cave.
Yeah, getting ridiculous.
And then the rest was improv.
So what I just have, that it's just a bad movie because it's just like this. You see this thing and basically from this one woman, and I think they took this off the trailer, but this woman, they show this one clip of this woman and she goes, "What could be dangerous about diving in caves?" And you're like, what is wrong with you? Like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. What could go wrong diving in caves? Everything could go wrong. You're diving in caves. Most people don't do this activity because it's dangerous.
What could be hazardous?
Yeah.
About disarming nuclear weaponry? I don't know.
Honestly.
Jeez.
So a good review on it was Boston.com said two-dimensional characters in 3D. Because the movie's presented in 3D, which is a whole new fad. What are your thoughts on 3D?
Well, first let me touch base on the Sanctum bullshit. Because it is a hot bag of ass cracks. It's disgusting. From the first 5 seconds, actually I take that back. The first 5 seconds of the preview were awesome. Because there's a helicopter and going over one of these huge trenches and actually... crazy newly discovered underground caves is something that I've been reading into, and they're popping up like Vietnam's got this whole new cave system.
Right.
And they mapped it out, and it's really cool. I love underground caves.
Sure.
So I was like, fuck yeah, I want to know about underground caves. Yeah. And then it starts flooding, and I said, no, okay, it's gonna be one of those movies where they get trapped and the water comes down, and two people make it out, and it's a guy and girl. And then they kiss at the end.
Right. And the difference of that
makes me want to punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie.
You've seen it.
And about James Cameron's thing.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't make this movie.
No.
He got paid $1 million or $5 million or whatever it was.
Yeah.
To fill out a little sticker and put his name on it and put it on the DVD.
There we go. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, I mean, maybe they used his 3D camera,
right?
Right, because he quote unquote invented a new 3D camera. You know, but I mean, I love his movies. He makes great movies.
Right. Essentially, now it's almost like a THX, like George Lucas sort of thing. It's like this 3D, company that he's going to have that's going to be like, enhancing every movie that you watch is going to have the stamp of James Cameron like George Lucas does on THX.
And, there's a part of me that wants to hate 3D.
Yeah.
I go in there and, I'm excited. I got the glasses. I go in there, and they're cool now. They're like hipster glasses. They're not the old plastic things.
You don't wear them around all the time. You might be crashing into things.
I'm not going to wear them to the coffee shop.
They're a little bit
where I work on my screenplay
in front of everybody.
But can anyone think of a title?
Yeah,
Sanctum. Love it.
Yeah, perfect.
But, I think they need to work on it some more because it still kind of makes me a little dizzy sometimes.
Sure.
And
it's for kids. I mean, it's got to be for kids. Like,
well, the cartoons. I mean, for animated cartoon stuff.
Yeah.
That's great.
Sure.
It's different, I think, when you have live action.
Live action is different. Yeah. It's a little, disconcerting for me. The 3D, it came out in the 70s. They used it. And it just didn't really go anywhere. And I think for a reason. And I think that, especially for adults, there's a lot of adults who, I've heard I love it or I hate it. There's really nobody in between like, oh, 3D is okay.
That's true.
It's really a one side or another. And personally, I just care to watch a good story. I'm really into a good story. There was a great movie I just saw called Moon.
I've seen it.
You did see Moon.
See it.
Phenomenal.
Seen it. Love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's on DVD.
Great movie.
It is a great movie. And it's about this... Well, you're put on the moon in the future, and they're collecting hydrogen-3 from the surface of the planet, and they're shipping it back to Earth to use as fuel. And there's one station where one guy and a 2001: Space Odyssey reference, a HAL, is with him, and they're operating this thing together. And all of a sudden, some crazy things start to happen, and all of a sudden, there's two of the same guy there.
Shit happens.
Yeah. We don't want to give away too much. This is, because people want to see this. So, anyway, Moon is great.
Great acting.
Yeah.
It's not the fastest movie in the world.
Right.
Right. But it's good enough. It's good enough to be slow at times.
Yeah, and it's almost like I would almost give it a thriller sort of title. I give it part of a thriller title because of the fact that it's like a mystery. Almost like why is this person here, and you're figuring out through the whole movie.
What the fuck is he doing?
Yeah,
and
what he's doing on the moon alone.
How do you get that gig?
Yeah, I don't want that job.
Who's lining up to get that gig?
No one wants to have that job. Well, at one point they actually did recently find water on the moon, so they're saying possibly colonizing it. But also the other thing is that the director was it's the purest water,
moon water.
Yeah,
how much is that shit gonna cost?
You got to filter it. There's a lot of dust in it, I imagine. The director went in front of NASA. He actually screened the movie for NASA, and then afterwards had a Q&A. And he actually asked the NASA people how realistic is the the idea H3 and all that, and how new is it? And they're like it's something that they're working on in terms of energy. And just the hydrogen cells and all this. The only problem with hydrogen cells is that I remember the what was it, the Click and Clack, the car talk guys were saying that it actually takes more energy to make the cells than it does to use them. So it actually becomes a huge waste. Yeah. So I think it was very marketable. I think that companies want to be like, oh, hydrogen now, it's so clean and amazing, but it was basically another ploy to just make a ton of money.
My hope is that in the future, the process to create the cells is more efficient,
right?
And that they can do it. I think that's really the future. I mean,
yeah.
I've been told by people in Texas who know a thing or two about fossil fuels.
Sure.
That, we got a lot to go for a long time, but it won't be forever. But I think hydrogen is hopefully the future.
It could be.
So they gotta fucking make it work somehow.
I mean, there's plenty of different elements on this planet, but also. I mean, one thing I am a huge proponent of, solar power. It's the new thing. I mean, solar power.
It's hot.
It's hot. It's good. I think that it's going to take off. I hope in the near future.
So. I heard the other day that Reagan took the solar panels off the White House that Carter had installed.
Is that right?
Did you hear about that?
Step back.
Well, I don't. It was probably didn't look too good for the photo shoots.
Yeah.
Or maybe you take it down for the photo shoot, or I guess these days you can just crop that shit out.
Yeah.
But you know what? Actually, a friend of mine was investing in this company that has mini solar panels inside of windows. Okay.
Oh, in the windows.
Picture this. Yes, exactly. So at some point in the future, all buildings when you get your windows,
yeah,
it'll be solar panels inside of the windows.
It'll power your house.
There you go.
You want more windows.
And so the frame of the windows, like how all the windows connect,
right?
And the water and the energy flows through them into the lights and shit.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna have to read up about this for the next podcast for sure.
Get on it.
Is the new the greenest building in the United States now is in Boston, and I'm not sure if it's opened quite yet, but collects its own rainwater, uses solar power. It is so I'm gonna have to look up on the proponents of how it makes it the greenest building in the United States, and I'm not sure it's the world, but I know at least in the U.S. it's sort of breaking ground for new ideas.
My least favorite part about energy conservation.
Yes.
If it's yellow, let it settle. Is that what they call? Is that how they say it?
Let it mellow. Let it mellow. It's got to rhyme.
I am totally against this.
Yeah, we don't want that. It's best.
I don't want to see your pee.
No.
I don't want to smell your pee.
No.
I don't want to, and especially if it's a duty.
Yeah.
Get that duty down the toilet.
Yeah, well, it's always if it's brown, flush it down. You know, it's funny. A lot of public toilets, especially now I'm going to Santa Monica College, is the toilets, the flushing. It's like they made it like back in the 1900s. Like there's
no pressure.
There's no pressure, and it's
like the force of gravity.
Literally, I can time a good 5 seconds or more, which when you really count it out is a lot of time for the pee to really flush all the way, you know, and it just seems it's a little disconcerting, and most of the time because it's like that way, most people, well, just in general, most people aren't flushing anyway, but you know, the pee's just sitting there. It stinks.
I don't want some guy to eat a big plate of asparagus and to go into the communal bathroom and letting things mellow.
No.
Don't do it. Buy a frickin' Prius, okay?
Say no to asparagus first.
Say no. Don't eat asparagus in your Prius, for the love of God.
Your Prius and your asparagus.
Don't do it.
It's too green. We don't like it. So.
All right. My shit movie prediction coming out. It hasn't been released yet.
Yeah.
It's called Drive Angry.
Oh, Nicolas Cage, right?
Nicolas fucking Cage.
This guy
won't stop.
With him?
Won't stop.
He can't stop.
He's from hell.
Right.
Okay. So the devil has spit him out. You know, like a bad piece of black licorice.
Like literally, do we know you see the devil actually like spit him out, or is he just like he
regurgitates Nicolas Cage? You know how mama birds feed their young?
Nicolas Cage
Cage. He's like a regurgitated field mouse.
It's like an owl. It's like an owl pellet.
He's a pellet. That's the first act.
Oh my
just
gosh.
him as a pellet.
What is this, Dante's Inferno? It's like, you know, the guy's going into the depths of hell and goes like, what is it? He goes, it's the opposite. In Dante's Inferno, he goes through into Satan's mouth, and then the worst part of hell is when Satan is actually shitting you out. It's almost like that. In fact, it's shitting out that movie is what it is. Wow, that's too bad.
He's driving a fast car. There's a blonde involved.
Okay.
There's some guns.
I guess.
And I think it's a combination of get his son back and then vengeance and redemption. Basically, you take all like the most interesting action scenes from every movie he's ever done,
right?
And you put that in one movie,
right? Because I was thinking, like, you know, there was the whole thing with his head was on fire in that one movie.
He's already been to hell. That's my point.
Right?
This is the same thing.
Oh man, so
it's the exact same thing.
So he's just getting any script and just saying, "Green light this one. This one's great. Let's do this." Because you know, at this point in his career, if he says yes to a script, it's on. You know.
Well, and what I heard is. He spent, like, basically he blew his money. He did the thing like lottery winners do. And he went out there. He owns literally 2 castles. Oh. I heard.
Okay. I wish I had that.
And all these homes in Bermuda and overseas and whatnot. So he like spent all his money and he's in debt. And so he'll take whatever project he can get. He's not reading through scripts thinking, "Oh, this sucks. I'm not going to do this."
He's blown through all his money.
He doesn't have any money.
No wonder.
Yeah.
Because there was at one point in his career, I thought it was going to be the turning point, was when he did Adaptation, and he played really, he played
great.
Charlie Kaufman and the brother, and it was amazing, and he looked, really like played the character well.
He actually acted, which was weird.
He acted. Oh, and it made him look such like a good actor, especially, and then after that. I mean, what he did in National Treasure, which I don't know. What are your thoughts on the National Treasure movies?
It's a guilty pleasure for me.
Yeah, most people it is.
Because I'll never in 1,000 years tell anyone I watched those movies.
No. You don't want
to. But it's late at night.
Right.
I'm cruising around the TV. I have a remote in my hand, and if there's a rerun of Seinfeld, I'm gonna watch that.
Right. Over National Treasure.
But if National Treasure's a choice between 16 and Pregnant and National Treasure, I'm watching fucking Nick Cage, dig up some Benjamin Franklin shit.
Yeah, there you go.
No?
Or how about my guilty pleasure, which HBO can't stop playing, 17 Again.
Oh my God.
Zac Efron, that's actually a really good movie, isn't it?
Zach's amazing in that. Zach is amazing in that.
Talk about a guilty pleasure. That's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, Jesus. I can't believe I said that.
Yeah. No, it's okay to admit some of the guilty.
No, it's not. It's Zac Efron.
No, because you're sitting there, was it like 2 a.m, you got nothing else on, all of a sudden paid programming's on, and look, the movie channel's got, the one good thing that's, anyway.
You know who's amazing is his friend. The nerd friend who invented. What's his name?
Oh, yes.
He's from Tom Lennon? It's not Tom. It's the
I
other
forget
guy.
his name. He's from Reno 911.
Is it Tom?
I don't know his name.
Okay. You tell me your favorite part of Zac Efron while I look it up.
My favorite part of Zac Efron. Well, what's interesting is actually one of my favorite parts of the movie is seeing Matthew Perry, because Matthew Perry is actually not that bad of an actor. He's kind of done some interesting things, after his Friends career. He didn't have the the mind of Joey to go try.
It is Thomas Lennon.
Oh, good for you. You got it.
Yes, Reno 911.
I didn't want to have to go on about Matthew Perry right there. Thank you for saving me.
I love it. I love watching him peacock. I love watching him in shorts. I recently heard an interview of him. He doesn't wear shorts ever.
What do you mean?
He doesn't wear shorts ever.
Long pants or just nothing?
But on Reno 911, he wears them all the time.
Oh, that's right. He wears the short shorts.
He never wears shorts going out.
Do you think it became from the Reno 911? Like he's so sick of shorts being in them?
I don't think he did before either.
Wow, that's surprising.
He doesn't.
That's
wear
sort
shorts.
of a weird weird thing. Some people have certain things I won't eat. That some certain things. But he's not choosing to wear a certain garment is kind of different.
Well, I mean, yeah, especially in LA,
Especially where it gets freaking hot.
He's got his balls out. He doesn't wear shorts.
Especially if he's not living right next to the water. Right? Summertime when it's
peculiar. It's what it is.
I used to have a thing about, not wearing shorts back in, high school, but it's because I had these chicken legs. And I'm just looking at these things.
You have amazing legs.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that's that.
For a chicken.
Yeah. for the.
What you need to do is put fucking razor
blades on it, and I'm ready, and then I'm ready to go out. Yeah. So. Anyway, well, that might does that wrap it up?
I think we're there.
Okay.
I think we're there. I think this officially ended.
Yeah.
The first ever podcast.
It's been good.
It has come to an end. I am Carl. People call me the Cheese. You may as well. And this is my partner in crime.
This is Brendan, a.k.a. Bombs. And this is our first podcast done from my apartment here in Santa Monica.
Hey, guys. Thanks for listening to the show. If you have any questions or thoughts, hit up the Cheese and Bombs at wickedhappyfuntime@gmail.com. That's wickedhappyfuntime@gmail.com. Be good to each other. Peace.